Hey there. It is roughly 10 zillion degrees out. Yes, it is. Did I forget to put my ear? Because dogs were barking outside and mowing was happening and I didn't know what the heck I was wearing tonight, so. And by the way, hey Jordan, long time, too long a time, my friend, my vegan friend. So, I live in a house, don't judge, I live in a house with no AC, okay? So it's a little warm here. And usually I have the windows closed to keep the sounds of the universe out. But I think by now we've all figured out that it's a pandemic and I'm not shooting from a live studio and stuff's gonna happen. Doorbells are gonna ring, dogs are gonna bark. We know that one for sure. And crazy's gonna happen. So I'm struggling with which one to do first here, but I think I'm gonna start with the tougher one and I'm gonna end on the more hopeful note because I don't wanna leave people sad. So this one's called Last Rites, W-R-I-T-E-S, and it's called Battling the Bully Within. It's from March 9th, 2011, the Virginian Pilot. The loss of a young acquaintance recently to depression-based suicide was a stark reminder that sometimes the bully lies within. We are often our own worst enemy. We beat up on ourselves daily. And when we can't take it anymore, we bully ourselves to death. Though I didn't know it when Princess, as she was called, was at Norfolk Karate Academy when she was alive, she was very much me at different times in my life. But sadly, I didn't see what we had in common. All I saw was perfect 20s, slim, beautiful, accomplished martial artists, college educated, a volunteer, and a sweet smile. I didn't see a troubled heart. She hid in plain sight, absent while present. Now she's gone, taken quietly away by her own hand. She was not in my circle of friends. She was a recent acquaintance from the Karate Academy. I had volunteered with her, looking her way with the longing and wistfulness that comes from 45 looking back at 25. Thinking, if only I had been blessed that way, if only I had what she has. Lucky. When I was a teen, bulimic and bereft during my parents' divorce, I tried to leave the world behind. Since then, I've kept vigil over my younger sibling, who is bipolar and has made 3 attempts. I can tell you there is no glory there. But from this one, there is a timely lesson and survival tool. Hearing the news of Princess's suicide, I felt instant regret. When my 15-year-old son learned of her death, he said, I wish I could turn back time and say something really great to her, something that would have made her feel better. Then it struck me, and this may seem harsh in print, but the one who needed to say something nice to her was the one that she turned away from in the mirror each day. I suddenly knew her very well, and that's when I began to cry for her. Of course, you can't know if a word or smile could have changed the course of another person's river of pain. This was a disease like cancer or diabetes, sometimes manageable and sometimes fatal, despite all efforts. I do believe that if one word can send someone over the edge, another can hold her in place. Realistically, many interventions had been tried, I am told. The river ran through her, ebbing and flowing before it jumped the banks and washed her beyond reach. For the memorial service, the church packed to double overflow capacity, and a family friend whispered to me, just the other day, she told her mother that she didn't have any friends, but look around. Look around. princess looked but could not see through the darkness of depression. Still, what I wonder now is, what if she viewed the inner self from a perspective of confronting a bully on the street? I can't know the answer. So here's the next question. What if we stop bullying ourselves? I could begin by not hating my waistline, the gray in my hair, or how much more time it's taking at 45 to prepare for my jiu-jitsu blue belt than it would have at 25. I could stop picking on my lack of success or being so ready to judge myself wanting. I could stop being angry with myself every time I make a mistake. I've been holding a grudge against myself over too many things to count. This is the time of year when people examine their lives, holiday gatherings or mileposts, times for comparison, analysis, and shame over not keeping resolutions. I know that others who learned of this tragedy might be tempted to let go, as she did. The thinking goes, look at how amazing she was. If she can't make it, I don't have a chance. You do have a chance. You are the one guarding and hoarding the unlimited supply of chances. The way to win this battle is to know that caving into the bully never works. If you have to face the attacker, you have to look in the mirror and say, we can work this out. I don't want to fight you, but I'm not afraid of you. Let's try and get along. Think of it as a charitable donation for the holidays, which often trigger us into self-bullying over our appearance, cash flow position, family issues, and such. Give to yourself. Give yourself another day or a week. Give yourself another chance. Who cares if you've already had a dozen? There are no calories in a chance. Every soul leaves a legacy. Maybe part of hers is nobody you meet outside your door will be as hard as you are on yourself. The most effective lesson in self-defense is here. Don't beat up on yourself anymore. If you need to fight, fight for your life. You will be amazed at how many people are also shadowboxing. I know I still take a swing at mine every now and again. Hence my big zero. I was feeling like a zero. Tried on some clothes. They were tight. Was walking around beating up on myself. Decided I have to go from 0 to something almost like a hero. I don't know. The second one I wrote in Medford, New Jersey. It's from January 21st, 2003. But man, some of these columns, they just come back like a boomerang with all that's going on. I mean, I just feel like I'm dialed in to the universe when I'm picking these, like, you know, like the lottery balls, right? So this one's called, Don't Deny People the Power of a Word. I've spent the better part of the past 15 years as a reporter, the last 4 also as a children's book author. I do it because while I know the sword and the dollar are mighty influences on the world, they pale when compared to the written word. So it came as no surprise that legal beagle Johnny Cochran would choose to blame the use of a single word on the death of 7 people in Baltimore. But what got me was the word that he chose, believe. The word is part of Baltimore's anti-drug campaign that both requests and insists in that single word, that the people have faith in themselves and their neighbors to, quote, redeem the core identity of the city, end quote, believe. The word hangs over the city as an invitation to rise. In a legal wind-up to the intended lawsuit, Mr. Cochran contends that the Baltimore Believe campaign is the reason 7 members of the Dawson family were killed in an October arson fire set after they spoke out against drug dealers in their neighborhood. Cochran's suggestion is that encouraging them to believe was irresponsible on the part of the city because it encouraged them to do something that got them killed. It encouraged them to stand up and fight for what they believed. Would Cochran sue Rosa Parks for keeping her seat and thus sparking others to hold their ground, and in so doing be injured or killed? Or perhaps he would have brought action against Martin Luther King Jr. for every death that resulted from the civil rights movement because he encouraged people to have a dream. This situation leaves me with that dread that comes when you see a disaster ready to happen. You want to scream a warning, as I do right now. Maybe I feel so keenly because just 2 days before the news of Cochran's legal move, I drove into Baltimore, where I was greeted by Believe. Slender white block letters on black background draped the tallest skyscraper and clung to the bumpers of public vehicles. The word hanging in the snow-strewn air was a unique and ethereal sort of comfort as I came up Light Street and saw the Legg Mason building dissolving up into the fog, as its only purpose was to hold out that word of hope and empowerment. All right, some will give me a big eye roll on this, but think about it for just a moment. How audacious, how eloquent, how wise to take a single word and clarify for people that the power is where it belongs, in their hands and in their hearts. It does not blame, cajole, frighten, enforce, or heap guilt. It empowers people as individuals and a community. It both invokes and evokes faith. The word had such a powerful positive effect on my morale and attitude for the few days that I was in the city. I began to think that this was too good an idea to keep to just one location. I thought, we need a national Believe campaign and not just to thwart drugs. If there were a billboard or a building in every city wearing that word in black and white, maybe we could redeem the core and identity of this country. Remember the core? That place that the rest of the world looked to for good? A place where no one would believe that standing for what is right is wrong. I don't think Cochran realizes believe is a core word. It is a word that props us up. It props up this country and its people. We believe and we act on our beliefs and we fight for them whenever they are being challenged, because that's who we are. Believing was not the problem. The drug dealers and their abject terror of that one very powerful word and what it inspires was the problem. If you want to go into Baltimore or anywhere else and omit a word, here are the ones that I would recommend: hate, cowardice, fear, racism, war, evil, and, let me add, litigiousness. I could have written that today. I think we need believe all over this country right now. I believe that standing up for what's right is never wrong. So I hope everybody stays safe while voicing their beliefs. And I hope that we can all come together and get through this. I love you guys. Through the pandemocalypse that's going on right now, through the murder hornets, through the boogaloos that just came up today. They got boogaloos, those guys were armed, through the now, 3 walls in front of the White House, none of which Mexico built, I guess. So, yeah, I believe that the change is happening, and I believe that it's going to get better, and I believe that we're going to get through this as a nation of believers. I believe in you guys, and I believe I will see you tomorrow night.